And I'm back, y'all. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest opinion or review while trying to watch my mouth. It will happen in this video because I don't think there's anything that on my topic list that will cause me not to watch my mouth, but you never know. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, beautiful people. Like and share the video, and we really do appreciate you all for watching. And happy holidays.
Yes. We do appreciate that. And make sure y'all subscribe to my girl's channel because any recaps or reviews that I don't do on my channel personally, we cover on her channel. Just like this week coming up, we have Love and Hip Hop Miami and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So if you want those recaps or to see those reviews where we give our opinions on it, make sure you subscribe to her channel and watch us go because we are definitely going to have fun with both of those seasons. So now, we are here to an updates video, y'all. It's been a minute since I did an updates video. It's been over a month since I did anything with updates, and there's been lots of topics throughout the month. I've just been busy, but I figured since so much has happened with a lot of the shows that I recap personally, I figured why not catch everybody up with what's going on with the reality TV celebs of them all. So the first thing I want to talk about, which I'm really excited to share on my channel with you guys. So let me go ahead and pull it up here. The first thing we'll talk about is boom, Candiace Dillard Bassett, y'all. She has given birth about a month ago. She had a baby boy. His name is Jet Maxwell Lee Bassett. There's People Magazine did cover the story for them, and I was so happy for her. I was like, oh, she had a little boy. She had a baby. She looks happy. Chris looks happy. I'm excited for her. I really am. I'm excited that this has happened. I'm excited that, she's actually doing things in according to the world, the right ordinance of life. So, congratulations, Candice. We're happy for you now. My thing is, do you think she's ever coming back to the Real Housewives of Potomac, Mrs. Best? That's what my first question is to you.
I think that she'll come back if they get rid of Ashley. I have a feeling that she is the biggest reason why she left. Giselle and the other women playing with their husband, I also think that is the close behind reason. But Ashley's husband was allowed to sue her, and they're supposed to go through arbitration and things when they sign their contract on this show. So I feel like between Ashley and how Giselle came for her husband, I don't think she'll come back until those two are gone. There's no one. Those two are the biggest problems and interfere with her having a fair relationship with the other women. So I feel like Candiace is definitely doing the right thing. Her music's doing well. She has talent. Her husband's a chef, so he'll always have a job. She's also got multiple degrees herself that she could fall back on if she wanted to leave the limelight. So I'm just glad to, see a black woman having a baby with her husband. I said it. Cancel me. Congrats.
Yes, congrats, Candace. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I want to see her back on Housewives of Potomac. I really do, but under the circumstances that the ladies don't pick on her or Chris like they did, like mainly Giselle. I feel like if Giselle ever left the show, I think that would make room for Candace to come back, and I would be here for it. I really would. But I've been watching her on IG, especially the last couple of months, and I noticed that Wendy and her have been at a couple of different events at the same time, but don't have any pictures together. And I looked through her comments. I don't see Wendy commenting like congratulations on anything. So I'm wondering if they have fallen out in terms of their friendship was only for the show versus real life. Do you think their friendship was only for the show?
I think that Candace viewed the friendship as real. I think that Candace fell back when she realized how little it was that Wendy defended her, like actively in the moment. But I feel like those two more so became close because the other women would not leave them alone. I don't think that it was
Mm.
like a deep, genuine friendship because Candace is difficult and emotional, but Wendy thinks she better than almost everybody, I think.
I mean, yeah, I'm true. I do think that Wendy does have a superiority complex, absolutely. But in terms, I hope those two get back on track because I did enjoy watching them on TV, and I'm hoping that nothing caused them to fall out. Because I did see what was the other lady's name who was also African that was on that show? I think her name was Escala. Escala. I did see her at Candiace's baby shower online, so I know that those two are still good. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they come on. I would love to see Escala back on Real Housewives of Potomac. I really would, because she really did give as well. So I feel like no, we'll see what happens for the future of Real Housewives of Potomac. I hope she does make her way back there, but one will never know. So congratulations, Candiace, once again. Congratulations, Chris. We appreciate you guys for sharing to People Magazine. Something so personal. We appreciate that as the fans. So moving on from there. Speaking of Candiace, there was also another former Real Housewives of Potomac that did recently spoke out, not so much on that show, but another show that she was on. So let me go ahead and bring up that link. And you guys know who I'm talking about. It is boom, Mrs. Monique Samuels. So she has spoken out about being on Love and Marriage DC. So we're gonna play the clip. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for sending this to me because I definitely want to talk about this.
These white shows, they don't show black people in the light that they should be shown in, and it can be natural drama. It doesn't have to be this scripted drama, and it created a relationship of like, all right, let's see what we can do together. Let's work together. So I believed him when he used the black card, and he did me worse than the white folks. I was like, he could have waited to the second season to trash me.
So you think Love and Marriage DC did you worse than Real Housewives of Potomac?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was worse. It was like there was no context. There was no reason to all of the fussing and fighting. It was like, it's love and marriage. So show the full outlook of what a love and marriage, like show what all of it looks like, right? I like to be as transparent as possible. But if my spouse is not also that way, then if you're not saying anything, they're only going to be showing what I'm saying. So it's very unbalanced. And then it was just like, we got her, dog her ass out. Like, it was like my name was used to gain the audience. And I mean, I felt like I got trashed on that show. They didn't show any of my real moments. They didn't show the moments where I gave more context to what was happening. It was just like me, like, but I was the one reacting. It was me reacting, but show why I was reacting like that, And it was very unorganized, on camera, off camera. It was a mess. And I left after the first season.
Well, so we have some insight on what filming was like for Mrs. Monique Samuels when she moved on to Love and Marriage DC. Now, I watched Love and Marriage DC the second season. I only caught maybe 2 episodes when maybe the finale, and maybe there was an episode when Winter was introduced. I watched that episode because it just happened to be on. So, and that's what made me actually have a likeness towards Winter, because I thought she was funny, she was bubbly, and I actually appreciated her. And then I think the finale episode was when she had that divorce song. I was laughing really, really hard when her husband came on the show and she said, "You better sign my papers and get my divorce," however the song goes. But I love that. So that was an interesting approach. Interesting that she said that Own and Carlos in Love and Marriage did her worse than Bravo when she was on Real Housewives of Potomac. Mrs. Best, can you believe her in that instance? Do you think that was her experience?
Carlos is known to give people terrible edits. I think Trisha's husband from Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is a prime example. But Bravo is also known to give people terrible edits. The thing, though, with Love and Marriage is I think when you get a bad edit, it is more personal. However, Monique, no matter where you go, you seem to have problems with people. So I'm going to stop looking at it as the network constantly and start to think that maybe you're just a difficult personality for people to get to know and to deal with. The marriage, she's not in it anymore. And it's like she refuses to be accountable for any part of her marriage ending. You're not in this marriage anymore. So maybe it's not something as simple as you're the more the person who's open like a book and comfortable on camera, and so he was quiet. Maybe your marriage was you doing a whole bunch of talking when you needed to shut the hell up and listen sometimes. So yeah, I don't know. I like Monique. She's interesting in terms of TV, but I think that she has a lot of growth to do. I think she struggles to be accountable and accept feedback. And now it looks like she's got two bad relationships with two different networks. So I don't know where she'll go from here, but I do hope that she has success. And if not, I'm sure she did well in her divorce settlement.
Interesting point. I do understand. Yeah, I feel like I can understand what she's talking about. I can. Um, do I think Carlos used her to promote Love and Marriage Detroit and make sure that it was a sound show in the beginning? Maybe. Because at the time that she joined it, it just came off. She just came off of Real Housewives of Potomac and all that drama that followed her fight
I
with
think
Candiace.
that's part of why she left Potomac. I feel like after dealing with the BS with that fight, because when you look at that fight, not to bring it back up, like in my opinion, Candice and Monique were both wrong. That's just how I felt about it. But she's acting like so much happened to her. Like her husband wasn't impacted. Like she's making it seem like just something far worse happened when, regardless on her reasoning, she was the aggressor. So I do feel like she probably left Potomac with something else lined up, or at least a contract signed to do Love and Marriage DC. But I don't know. I don't care to see her anymore. She's always talking about negative stuff and trying to make herself sound dignified. Or I, I want to see her on Iyanla. That's what I have to say.
Yala is done with Fix My Life. I just watched her on Cam Newton's podcast, and she said she was done with Fix My Life. You couldn't pay her to go back on that show. And I said, damn, Iyanla, I hate that you put that out there like that because the people need you.
I
People
bet
need
you it was Bucky who broke her. No, but what I will say, Ayanla fixed my life. People have to understand Ayanla's not a counselor or a life coach. She's just somebody who really has knowledge and eventually later went to school for it. But the problem with her show, she could put in all that effort, but if a person's not ready to change themselves, then all the effort and all the things that she's saying is just words. So people have to really want to change. People have to really want the therapy, the counseling, the life coaching, whatever it may be. Monique definitely, something about her whenever she speaks, like I see and feel pain.
yes.
So I really want her to like seek some type of help and support from somebody.
Not only that, but I see the trauma being carried with her. And she did mention that in that interview somewhere where she did carry the trauma. And she also mentioned that she did take a lot of that out on Candiace when they were on the show together. And I think that that was her way of taking accountability for that situation because y'all, she was tripping that season. I don't know what she was on. I don't know what she was doing, but she was definitely doing a lot that season. So for her to have that now come to Jesus moment 5 years later, I'm glad she has it, but it would have been nice for you to kind of recognize that throughout time. And maybe she has, and this is the first time she's speaking about it. But I don't know. It was very interesting. That interview was very interesting. If you guys have not watched it, I forgot who that interviewer's name was, but it was a good interview. It really was. It made me look at her a little differently, and I'm glad, you know, that she is, having remorse and accountability now for it. Now, interesting question, because I have to ask, would you like to see her back on Real Housewives of Potomac? Oh, she heard me, y'all.
Who, Monique?
Yes.
Um, no,
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
Here's the thing. I feel like Monique is not right for reality TV. I don't feel like it's good for her in terms of her mental health. Um, that's more so my perspective. Do I think she'd be interesting to watch and would liven up the show? Yes, but I don't think that this show is something that is good for her. And yeah, it's just she could stay where she's at until she changes and heals a little more.
So My ultimate dream of Monique coming back would be, I'm trying to set the scene up. So for any of those who watched Mob Wives, y'all remember Carla, who was on season 1, left the show. I don't know if she was fired. I don't know what happened. But Renee had a birthday party on Mob Wives, and we saw legs walking in. And then when they opened the door, boom, revealed it was Carla. And we were like, whoa, that was a gag of the century. It would be the gag of the century if Candiace were to come back on the show and Giselle's still on the show. And there's like this bitterness between Giselle and Candiace, where Candiace pulls out the ultimate trump card and have Monique walk through the door. That would be the gag. Bravo. If y'all in that call center, if y'all ever watched anything, that would be the gag of the century. Pay Monique whatever it is, have her and Candiace fake a relationship, and I just want to see Giselle's face. I think that would be hilarious if that were to happen. I know it would never will, but in a perfect world, like in my life, that would be, I'm telling you, y'all ratings would skyrocket if Candiace were to pull that move on Giselle. Just saying. So, moving on there, and speaking of, love and marriage, Carlos. So, y'all, Carlos came at his fans in one of his lives here on YouTube when he was interviewing Latrice and Destiny. He had a little disclaimer about 2 of his cast members who have left the show. He said something about Tiffany leaving, and he also mentioned Stormy, because it has been announced that Stormy had quit the show back in April. So Stormy's no longer a part of Love and Marriage Huntsville because of the fans. So we're going to listen to what Carlos said. I'm only going to play a couple minutes of it, and then me and Mrs. Best are going to discuss, our opinions on what Carlos is saying. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to listen to Carlos here.
Tiffany Whitlow left the show because of some mean viewers. She said it out of her own mouth. She said after appearing on the show her first season, her first reunion, she said, "I felt like jumping off the bridge, seeing how many people hated me." She said that out of her own mouth. Okay? She was able to continue with the show for a couple of seasons and then finally said, "I've had enough." And y'all know I go up for Tiffany Whitlow. I love Tiffany. I love everything about that woman. It was sad to see her go. I understood it, and we all made the decision that yes, if you can't bear what's been happening to you outside of the show, right? Then we respect your wishes. That has happened to Stormy Steele. Okay? Losing Stormy Steele from Love and Marriage Huntsville is a great loss to the show because Stormy brought something different that the show needed at the time she was presented. Stormy being on the show took nothing away from the original 6, and it took nothing away from Destiny. It took nothing away from the Fletchers. Stormy was just this vibrant CEO entrepreneur from Mississippi who moved to Huntsville and created an empire for herself, right? And that's what the show was about, Black excellence. And Stormy fit the bill. She started off as a friend up to the show to test the waters. And once Destiny and her got into it, honey, she was like, "Okay, child, let me be on the show full time." Because I like it, right? But she also liked the fact that she was able to promote her business too. And my entire cast, they do a wonderful job promoting their businesses. Stormy is a self-made multi-millionaire, okay, who has built an empire for herself, being a young Black girl from Mississippi. She's an inspiration to a lot of people, just like the original 6 is an inspiration to a lot of people, just like Destiny is an inspiration to a lot of people, just like the Fletchers, okay? You find somebody on this show that you inspire and aspire to be. And Stormy brought that to the show. To see her leave is a great loss because she fit the bill and she fit the mandate. She did not leave the show because of me, the network, the production, and she made that clear in the post that she made on Saturday. She left the show because she had to choose her business over the bullshit that some of you guys did to her. Y'all did it to Tiffany and she left, and y'all did it again to Stormy. And this has to stop. I don't stand for it. I have never stood for it. I have always addressed it. I don't like it. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to say, I don't like you, Stormy. I'm team this person this week. I'm on this person's side next week. All that is good. We all signed up for that, right? When I host reunions, y'all love me doing the first one. Then y'all say, he's getting paid by the Scott. Melody is his favorite. He fired Destiny. Now he's kissing Martell's ass. And y'all say the craziest things about me. I don't give a shit. Because I know I signed up for the gig, okay? What I do give a shit about is when you guys are constantly attacking my cast. When the cast attack each other, they know what it is. That's what they decide to do. They know what it is. Okay? And in most cases, they're able to forgive each other. Who would have thought Destiny and Stormy would be good friends? Based on their interaction. There were Team Stormy, Team Destiny. And look what happened. They're now close. Okay? That's what happens in the order of life. Some of you guys are not fans. I would never disrespect my audience by calling you mean MFers fans, because you're not. You are not good people. You're not good people to sit up here and contact places and cops because of your disdain for a person who is brave enough to entertain you on a Saturday night. So because
That's all I can take of Carlos at this point. Now, he does have a point. He does have a point. A lot of people who make phone calls and try to damage these people's businesses, because it's reality TV and their businesses are tied to the television show. So a lot of people who are out there, making calls to Walmart, trying to get Stormy stuff off the shelves. A lot of you people do that to Ken. Y'all did that to Kenya Moore, who I'm going to mention also as well in this slide. Y'all do a lot for reality TV, and he does have a point. Now, if that's really what drove Stormy off the show, then my heart goes out to her, because that's unfair. She should be able to showcase her life, have disagreements with people, and still be here making money and doing boss moves. She's inviting people into her life to do so. And the same, even though I could recall Tiffany saying postpartum got her off the show, because I thought she was fine with me and Messy. But if the fans really were coming after Tiffany, then my heart also goes out to Tiffany. Y'all know I love Tiffany. I do. Tiffany was my favorite. So if Tiffany really got off the show because of the fans, then that's, something else. And I think this is Carlos showing the example of like, hey, y'all need to stop all of this, because these are people too. And I think that that's really what has to humanize people in this moment. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Carlos speaking out?
Shame on Melody Cherie, because this is exactly what Stormy meant when she said state where you stand. And Melody may not have had to do it, but what if Mel stating where she standed? What if that would have been the one thing that was needed to keep Stormy on the show? However, I personally never felt like Stormy fit this show or this cast just based on personality, where she's from. I feel like she would have been better for Bell Collective personally, but it's unfortunate, and I think that she would have been a fool to not leave the show after ending up in jail for something related to, fans and how they feel watching her on this show. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's no one's fault. But I am glad that Carlos stood up and said that you guys should not do these things, because Mel's not gonna do that. If it was Tisha's fans doing it, I don't think she would. I don't think Kimmy would. I don't think any of them would speak up if it was their fans doing it to other people, because unfortunately that's just how humans are. So I think as a producer of the show, that was the responsible thing for Carlos to do. However, I do think he's doing it too late. Um I think he needs to seek the opinions of others who are in the same industry, seek the opinions of the cast, seek minor opinions from the audience, and go from there. It's okay to like take a step back and put the show on a hiatus until you can figure out how to move forward. I'd rather
Mm.
have that than have all this craziness happening. But I also feel like, Carlos, don't come at the fans too hard, because it's not all of them that do that. That's a small group of people within a very large fan base that get overly emotional, do too much, and forget that they are watching a show. At the end of the day, scripted or not, they are watching a show. We tune in for entertainment, not because what these people do impacts our own lives in some way. So I do think he should, make it clear, make it a little more clear. Like, I'm not coming at all of the fans of the show, because not everybody that watches Love and Marriage Huntsville does all of that. James loves this show. Day one, this guy, but he's not gone crazy and harassing people on the internet or anything like that. Like, I think that is the difference between, just being a fan of the show and then being somebody who probably needs to have me run a psychological assessment on their ass. But it's, I don't know. It's a shame, but I think with Stormy's success with TikTok too, recently making over $1 million in a stream, and her continued success with her business, I think she should step away from the show, because she's about to get to the point of success where you would question her being on a show like this, and she needs to protect her privacy and all of that much more, so that she has less instances of court cases and BS. So she's gone. Nothing we can do about it. Let's hope that he casts better, because we are stuck with Tish for now. Trish, and I can't stand her.
Yeah, no, and I definitely agree with you. I feel like, Stormy has a lot of great things going on. I did like Stormy on the show. I felt like she had a great business, and she had the business before she was on the show. She definitely used the platform well. And I feel like she did also give entertainment on the show, you know, to a great extent. So she's definitely going to be missed. She really is. She's definitely going to be missed. And I feel like, you know, like we said, Carlos definitely needed to do that. He needed to tell the fans, or the people who view the show, or the people who are going extra miles to do things just to be noticed in like 15 minutes. He definitely needed to tell them this. So this last episode was kind of boring. I had to skip through a lot of parts. It shows also continuously toxic. It is. It is continuously toxic. And I think for me watching it, this episode, I didn't even, if you watched my recap of Bitch Stay Winning, I didn't even cover all the scenes or all the topics, because I felt like they were repeating themselves over and over and over and over again. Yeah, we don't like. Well, here's the thing: she would be likable if she would just tell the damn truth. She would be likable, but the fact is, she's not. I don't know what she's trying to give. I don't know what to get out of her. But she is a horrible Stormy replacement. That's who's replacing Stormy on the show. She's a horrible replacement. I'm sure there's much better in Huntsville. I'm sure there's much better.
I need to see Tish, like Trish. What is her? Is it Tish or Trish?
It's Latricia.
Whatever. I need to see this woman opening a gym, or I need to see where her and Ken live. Like, I'm sorry, people gonna hate me for this, and Trish probably gonna hate me for this too. The only thing about this lady that's interested is the ex-husband, her and Ken's situation. Other than that, I don't care. When she wants to get real about that and be candid about that, then I'm interested. Other than that, I don't care anything about this Latricia. I don't care about her and her old lady Sunday wigs. I do not care. I just don't. I don't want her on the show. But I wish Stormy lots of success. I just ordered some of her body butter myself. The shit worked. So I'm hoping that maybe instead of allowing Stormy to like just be wasted because she is good TV. Snatch her on over to Bell Collective and get rid of Marie or Letitia, please.
She actually would be a good replacement for Letitia. She would be. Like if she were to do, because that Mississippi and Alabama are not that far. That's a good 3-hour drive where she can easily pop in, do the show, go drive her ass home, and then be done. Like it, you know. What you saying, Wendy? Let's not think about that body. I'm into fitness as well, and I definitely admire all of her muscles. I'm getting there as well. I need to get my ass back in the gym. This double chin ain't working for me, so I need to hurry and get my ass back up in there. But
I just added some more waist beads just to hide my stomach. My husband keeps feeding me. I try to exercise, I try to work out, and then he feeds me. So I don't know. I think he's setting me up. I'm on to him, but I respect people who go to the gym. I don't have that
I
strength.
do too. I'm not consistent with it, and I need to be consistent with it. But because my schedule is all over the place, it's hard for me to make time for it. So I'm gonna have to do something different. Like I'm gonna have to. I want to get a personal trainer. I did say that, but I'm like I can't afford one right now. But I need to do something. I need to get my ass back in the gym. I do. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So, we're glad that Carlos did speak out. He needed to, because the fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville are crazy. I just feel like some of y'all do the most. Like to make phone calls to Walmart, to show up to people's businesses unannounced and everything like that. Y'all that's taking it way too far. We didn't see y'all show up to She by Sheree and, tear up her warehouse. So, come on, don't do that to Storm. So yeah. But anyways, y'all, speaking of She by Sheree, or She by She Don't, Kenya was recently on Tamara Hall speaking out about the situation with Brittany Edie. So I'm going to play a little snippet of it as well. So that way, we can see what she's talking about. But she's taking full accountability of it, so we're going to watch it. And also we're going to watch another thing that she also confirmed as well that we needed to know.
I've elevated situations before,
So
and
you're
I've
taking
taken full accountability for the things that I've done. I am sorry for what I've done. I didn't have to take it that far. But when I felt threatened, I've never had a child and be in a situation like this before. So that's why I escalated it to the point where I was protecting not only myself, but my child.
Okay. So I don't know if that was admitting what she did was wrong, but I don't know what Brittany Edie would do. I guess, Bravo, we hope y'all don't start this season off with exiting all of Kenya's episodes out and then starting wherever Portia and the other girls start. I hope y'all don't do that, because now I need to see this. I need to see what exactly it is. But Kenya also confirmed as well that she was not fired. So I'm going to play that clip too.
Never fired. So there were a lot of headlines that spread across the world. Kenya was fired. She was fired. She was let go. All of those things, and they were not true.
What is true?
What is true is that, where do you want me to start?
Well, are you a part of the show?
I am still under contract, and I am still an employee of the network.
So you still receive checks from the show?
I still do.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Period. So you're still being paid by Bravo. You've not been fired from the show. I felt that this was a ploy for ratings. I have felt from the beginning, and I have not told you this because it doesn't make sense. I think if this is a case of revenge porn and there's an investigation, and I hope that there was, why are you still being paid?
So here's the thing. That's another lie. I was never under suspicion for revenge porn. I never, ever from the network, their mouths exactly, you were never under investigation for revenge porn. That is something someone put on their Instagram along with law to point a finger at me for something that was completely a false narrative.
So why aren't you on the show?
I'm not on the show because we started filming and this is a pivotal season for Real Housewives, and they had a lot of new girls. And as you said before, I was one of the few that survived. And we were really excited to get the season started. And some of the new girls, you know, as in the past, they come on and they're trying to make a name for themselves, especially when they're not really showing up.
But that's a part of the franchise.
That's a
right?
part of
no
the
one wants to
franchise.
see a boring Housewives episode.
Exactly.
And so some of the things that come on, you know, people are keeping it spicy for a reason.
Yes.
Okay.
But when you go too far, and that's what happened, we were having a filming and things took like a really dark turn. And toward me, there was a young lady who was new and she just was poking the bear. And everybody knows, you know, the saying that I made up, don't come for me unless I send for you.
Right.
And that means simply, I mind my business. And I don't start anything, I respond. So
well, she said that she wasn't suspended. Suspicion. She used the word suspicion. I think she meant suspended. But yeah, I don't know what to take from this. I don't know what to take from this. Like, it seems there is a bit of calculated lies here, because if you weren't suspended from the show, then why did you stop filming? What did Brittany Edie do then? That's why I said, Bravo, please do not cut Kenya's episodes out. Please do not do that, because now I have to see this with my own eyes, because this made headlines and was huge when it came out. So I'm wondering, y'all, do you think Bravo's going to show this? Do you really think they're going to do it?
They probably will. I don't think they have much of a season without this. Phaedra never really gave much, and when she did get interesting, it was because Kenya was messing with her, and her husband had all his drama going on. Portia's not going to give much because we know she can't talk about shit because Simon done went to court and all sorts of things. And the rest of the women, I know Cynthia's supposed to make an appearance. She always been boring to me. The new chicks give ratchet, and they need to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and On the Way to Zeus, Midnight Train to Zeus. But I feel like they're going to let us see the fallout with Kenya because Kenya makes for good TV. And if you even think about playing with Kenya, she is doing the most. So they'll air it. They want to get higher ratings because Housewives of Atlanta has struggled in recent times. But I really think they need to just scrap anybody remaining and start over like they did Roni Legacy. Like, do Atlanta again because it's too much. But Kenya is also like taking partial accountability. Like, she's saying basically, like, I take full responsibility for what I did. But then she adds that but word, which to me is taking partial accountability. And she's like, but I don't come for people unless they come for me first. And it's like, you can respond without coming for them to such a harsh extent. So I felt like she could have took more accountability, but it is what it is.
I just feel like something more happened. Something way more than a porn or whatever was allegedly supposed to be shown at Kenya's launch party. Something more happened. And I can't wait. That's why I can't wait to see it. So that way, I'm hoping Bravo don't cut this out because of what is going on with Kenya and this young lady. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing that you were never suspended and that you chose to take it out, and Bravo's going to fully pay you the exact contract amount for you not to film on their show based on the action that you did. I find that hard to believe. I do. And I don't think she would necessarily lie, but at the same time, it's hard to believe that a network would, after they asked you to come back when they were going to scrap the entire show and only choose you and Portia, it's hard for me to believe that they're going to take that big of a hit and risk for you not to film for the rest of the season or however many episodes you film and fully pay you and fully continue to say you're an employee. It sounds weird, and that you were never suspended. It sounds weird. There's something not right with this. And I'm not trying to question her integrity or her inability. I'm just trying to say It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't make sense. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And only time will tell. I do think that if she was not fired or she was not suspended, she will be on season 17 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. If they get a season 17, that is. Because you never know what these ladies are going to bring. Because, as I said, Portia, I feel like I don't know. But Portia sometimes brings, sometimes she doesn't. It depends on where she is in life. So we'll see. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know what to make of this. It didn't sound. I wasn't convinced. I just wasn't. So we'll see what happens when this show airs. And as I said, Bravo in that call center. Y'all better air these episodes with Kenya. Don't play with us. Don't skip those episodes because they did that one of these seasons. I think it was during the pandemic. They did this where they skipped a whole montage of episodes and came in towards the middle of it, and then we were all confused on why all these feuds were happening without any context to them, like with Candy and all this situation. So I'm praying this is not what they do. I'm hoping that they, give us like a good upstage of like how Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is given. So I'm hoping that's what it is. But that was all my updates, y'all. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add?
No, not at all. I agreed with everything you said.
All right, y'all. So here's an updates video. It's been a while. I do want to do an unpopular opinion video, but I need a really good, like a very good, like I think my best unpopular opinion video that actually made me want to continue to do them was my Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith video. That was my highest viewed video. So yeah, that's how I feel too of this. I mean, I feel like this as well. But that was my highest video. So if you guys want an unpopular opinion video, or me and Mrs. Best give our unpopular opinion, give us topics. Put them in the comment section. We will definitely look at them. If we feel that it's something we should have an opinion about, we will give it to you. But thank you guys once again. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.